Welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Gold and Blue Dude. And you know, they say the biggest improvements that you'll see for a college football team is from week 1 to week 2. I think spread picking is the same way. Last week I went 58%, which ain't bad, but it's bad for me. I'm usually around 70%, so I'm going to do better this week. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Gold and Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football videos every single day. Every year, I do my spread pick videos every single week. Last year, I was around 70%. Well, my first week this year, 58%. That's not terrible, but that's not up to my standards, so I'm going to do better this week. First up, Kansas at number 17, Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina is a 26.5-point favorite. Kansas barely beat FCS South Dakota by 3 points. They were favored by 14.5. I took those points, won that game. In this game, 26.5, not enough points. Coastal Carolina is a very good team. They're going to straight up punk Kansas. I'm going to lay those 26.5. Next up, Middle Tennessee at number 19, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech coming off a great win over number 10, North Carolina at home. They're a 20-point favorite here. I'm taking Virginia Tech. I think they win by a couple of scores, but I don't think they're going to cover, so I'm going to take those 20 points. Toledo at number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 17-point favorite. I think this is a reaction to that Florida State game. I told y'all that was being a tough game for Notre Dame. They didn't cover, but in this game, I think they do cover. I'm laying the 17. Next up, number 5, Texas A&M at Colorado. Texas A&M laying 17. They beat Kent State convincingly last week. Colorado didn't look good, but this is a road trip for Texas A&M. I think they're still trying to figure out a few things. I think they win this game, but I'm taking those 17 points. Ball State at number 11, Penn State. Penn State, the 22-point favorite. Ball State is a sneaky good team, better than people realize, and Penn State went on the road and upset number 12, Wisconsin. A lot of energy, a lot of emotion went into that game. I think this will be a slight letdown game. Penn State still wins, but I'm taking the 22 points. Number 15, Texas at Arkansas. Texas laying the 7. Before this season started, I was predicting Arkansas was going to beat Texas. Not anymore. Arkansas didn't look all that great, and Texas looked amazing. So I'm actually going to lay these 7 points, and I feel pretty confident about it. Don't let me down, Texas. Eastern Michigan at number 18, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the 26-point favorite. I think Wisconsin is going to be mad. Very, very mad. I think they're going to have a much better offensive game this week. That's why I'm taking those 26 points and I'm laying them. Yes, I think Wisconsin beats Eastern Michigan by more than 26 points. App State at number 22, Miami of Florida. Miami got obliterated against number 1, Alabama. I think we all knew that was going to happen. It really didn't tell much either for Alabama or Miami because what was supposed to happen happened. Miami's a 9-point favorite. I think Appalachian State's a really good team. And I was close to picking the upset, but I'm not going to pull the trigger. I'm taking Miami, but I'm also taking the 9 points. Georgia State at number 24, North Carolina. North Carolina laying 26. North Carolina coming off an upset loss to Virginia Tech. Their offense was nowhere to be found. Lucky for them, here for this will be a home game against Georgia State. Georgia State is not pulling what they did in Knoxville a few years ago against Tennessee. North Carolina will be all over Georgia State, but I think 26 is just a little too much. I'm going to take those 26 points. Number 21, Utah at BYU. Utah laying the 7. This is a rivalry game, but it hasn't been a rivalry of late. Utah has won 6 or 7 straight games in like 10 out of the last 11. I think they continue that trend, and BYU lost a lot from last year's team. So I'm actually going to lay these 7 points. It could still be a close game. You know, Utah win by 10, 13, but I think 7 isn't enough. I'm laying those 7 points. Stanford at number 14, USC. USC laying the 17. Stanford looked horrific against Kansas State, and USC looked pretty good against San Jose State. So I should take USC and lay these points, right? No, there's always this upset that shouldn't happen. Nobody sees it coming, and I think this fits the criteria. I think Stanford is a better team than what we saw last week, and USC is actually going to have a letdown game. I really don't have any reason for picking this upset, but I'm going to take Stanford. I'm going to take them in a straight-up upset against USC. Just because I have that feeling. Number 10, Iowa at number 9, Iowa State. Iowa State a 4.5-point favorite. This is a rivalry, and Iowa State did not look good last week against Northern Iowa. They have this tendency of starting off the season slow. I think that trend continues. Iowa looked great against Indiana last week. I know it was at home, but Iowa knows how to beat Iowa State on the road. They're not intimidated by Ames, Iowa. So I'm taking the slight upset here. I'm taking number 10 Iowa in the straight up upset. And finally, number 12 Oregon at number 3 Ohio State. Ohio State, the 14.5-point favorite. Thibodeau is actually questionable, meaning he could play. That is a big time factor. Either way, I'm taking Ohio State. I don't think the Buckeyes lose, but I'm going to take those 14.5 points. I think Oregon can make it interesting, and I think the Buckeyes win by 2 touchdowns, but that still doesn't cover. That half a point is a key number. That's why I'm taking the 14.5. Y'all let me know in the comments section what you think of my spread predictions for this week. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.